pertaining whether Allah will accept the ibadah of a person who earns from unlawful earning or not. Then I said there are a couple of very interesting hadith that we need to remind each other and remind ourselves with frequently. The first is a hadith that is collected by Imam al-Bukhari and narrated by the great companion Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, in which he narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إن الله تعالى طيب من تصدق بعدل تمرة من كسب طيب من تصدق بعدل تمرة من كسب طيب وإن الله لا يقبل إلا الطيب فإن الله يقبلها بيمينه ثم يربيها لأحدكم كما يربي أحدكم فلوه حتى تكون مثل الجبل. This is a very interesting hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said, it doesn't really matter the quantity, how much you give in a charity or how much you spend for the sake of Allah. What matters is the quality. It must be from a lawful earning. If what you can afford is as little as bi'adli tamra, a date, the fruit of the date which comes from the date palm tree, tamra, if this is all what you have, if this is what you can afford, or even if you can afford more and you give this tamra or anything that is equivalent to it, any charity, provided it was earned from a lawful source. Because Allah does not accept except which was earned lawfully. Guess what? Before you drop it in the hand of the needy and the miskin and the beggars, it falls in Allah's hand. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يَقْبَلُهَا بِيَمِينِهِ. Allah accepts it in His own right hand. Then what is He going to do with it? ثُمَّ يُرَبِّيهَا لِأَحَدِكُمْ. Then He will grow it up. He will magnify its reward. كَمَا يُرَبِّي أَحَدُكُمْ فَلُوَّهُ. Exactly, or in a similar way, to a person who's raising up or bringing up his young horse until he becomes a grown-up horse, a race horse, until it gets as big as, and it becomes as huge as a mountain of reward from adli tamra, one qajur, one date, one fruit, anything similar to. In another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, اتقوا النار ولو بشق تمرة. Protect yourselves against the fire of hell and avoid it, even by giving in a charity as little as a half date. A half date. If this is what you can afford, may Allah bless you for it. Provided it must be earned lawfully. The other hadith, which is collected by Imam Muslim and narrated also by the great companion Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, he said that the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ طَيِّبٌ لَا يَقْبَلُ إِلَّا طَيِّبًا. Allah the Almighty is good, and He only accepts that which is good, which has been earned from lawful sources and been spent for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sincerely. So the source of income and how you spend it with sincerity. وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ أَمَرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ بِمَا أَمَرَ بِهِ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. And Allah the Almighty commanded the believers as He commanded the messengers. He said, يَا أَيُّهَا الرُّسُلُ كُلُوا مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَاعْمَلُوا صَالِحًا إِنِّي بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. What did He command the messengers with? He said, O messengers, كُلُوا مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ. Only eat from the lawful things and do good righteous deeds because I see what you do. Then He commanded the believers as saying, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم. All you who believe, eat from the lawful things which we provided you with. ثم ذكر الرجل يطيل السفر. Then the Prophet ﷺ gave an example of somebody who is on a long journey. أشعث أغبر, dusted with disheveled hair and covered with dust because he's traveling for a long journey in the middle of the desert. This condition is more worthy for the person whenever he raises his or her hands to ask Allah to have his dua accepted, because he's in need, he's desperately in need. Yet, if this person was, as the Prophet ﷺ said, وَمَطْعَمُهُ حَرَامٌ وَمَشْرَبُهُ حَرَامٌ وَمَلْبَسُهُ حَرَامٌ وَغُذِّيَ بِالْحَرَامِ. If he eats from haram, drinks from haram, the clothes that he's wearing, he bought it from money that was earned unlawfully, فَأَنَّى يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ. It is not expected that his dua will be answered. Is this an indication that if you know yourself working in haram, you don't have to pray? You don't have to make dua? No. It is rather the other way around, which is, if you are indulged into any unlawful earning, that you should seize that immediately. You should start looking for a halal and a lawful source of income. This is how it's supposed to be understood.